And I'm Miss Reed. I'm here you're interested in getting into the educational field.
Yes, I am.
Well, follow me. First off, I'm going to introduce you to a school who incorporates a managerial leadership paradigm into their everyday learning. Know that I have previously showed you the managerial leadership paradigm. Can you take a walk with me and let me introduce you to a next school who incorporates the instructional leadership paradigm into their daily runnings?
One major proponent of instructional leadership was Kenneth Leafwood. Kenneth Leafwood authored a book titled The Laboratory for Student Success, Educational Success. This was published in the year of 2005 by Temple University. In addition to co-authoring A Century's Quest for a Knowledge Base that was published by Josie Bass in the year of 1999. Instructional leadership involves the process of teachers' attitudes to deliver instruction and facilitate learning while socially interacting with students in meaningful learning activities that is in their developmental progress. Within this paradigm, the instructional leader focuses on the professional development of teachers by encouraging them to attend training workshops for their teaching and learning benefits, as well as ensuring students' social and academic success are achieved continuously in the classroom. Instructional leadership consists of the principal ensuring his or her teaching and administrative staff delivers efficient and effective purposeful instruction which positively impacts student learning and their academic achievements in their learning environments that fosters collaboration, critical thinking, creativity, and problem-solving skills to become a 21st century citizen and function in the real world. The principal's role is to provide supervision with instructional duties, knowledge of the curriculum and its changes, content, assessing teachers through feedback and reviewing lesson plans, as well as distributing resources to enhance instruction that facilitates meaningful learning for student success. Added to this, the principal must also acquire the necessary skills in communication and planning with teachers to improve quality instruction, student learning, and decision making in providing authentic and experiential learning experiences for students. Therefore, instructional leaders are those who participate actively in the ongoing activities within the school, collaborate and foster motivation among their teachers, share ideas and opinions to promote instructional improvement and school management, executing the school's philosophy and mission, which should be designed in an effort to develop and produce positive student outcomes. Kenneth Leafwood was one major proponent of the managerial leadership paradigm. One of the major books that Leafwood has co-authored was called Changing Leadership for a Changing Time. Steve Babb was the other author of this book. This book was published in the year 1999 by the Open University Press. Another well-known book that Leafwood co-authored was known as Linking Leadership to Student Learning, which was published in the year 2011 and later published by John Wiley Sons Limited. This book was co-authored by Karen Seashore Lewis. From the readings of Akrani 2010, one can understand that management and leadership are not the same. However, every manager within an organization, for example schools, must motivate, lead, or instruct persons. Another definition was put forward by Demont Walker 2005 and West Burnham, Farrell, and Arturo 2007, whereby it says that the managerial approach gives special mention to both specialized and practical agents of leadership. It is also of the view that an organization functions effectively when a hierarchy or line of dominance is clearly defined. Moreover, Lombard and Ornstein 2008 also emphasized that if tasks and actions of the leader are effectively carried out, they will later influence others within the organization. Managerial leadership can be considered an authoritarian type of leadership and has been adopted from a business model and employed within educational institutions. In managerial leadership, there is a clear hierarchy with the principal at the head and responsible for specific tasks, according to bl2yc 2011. A number of tasks performed in institutions are carried out by the principal, leaving little room for pastoral care, teacher observation, and teaching by him or her. Though this way of doing things can seem a bit archaic with reference to schools, there are a number of gains a school can achieve from using this business model for leadership. Within a managerial leadership paradigm, exchanges between managers and subordinates are prevalent. The aforementioned claim was present in the works of Renault 2016, which can be translated as a process where individuals are rewarded for doing good through incentives. It can be understood that employees will perform at their best when incentives are allocated, and both persons in managerial roles benefit from given incentives as well. An example of this claim can be reflected in the school setting, whereby teachers are rewarded with tokens of appreciation for their contributions to a fundraising event held by a school.
Instructional leadership focuses predominantly on the learning. The leaders are orchestrating the behaviors of teachers as they endeavor to elicit student achievement. Instructional leadership encompasses the myriad actions undertaken by a leader to encourage learning and pursue learning objectives. Instructional leaders, most commonly the principal, ensure that the school has processes and systems in place for budgeting, staffing, problem solving, communicating expectations, and scheduling that result in organizing the work routines in the school. Conversely, managerial leadership focuses on functions and tasks that ensure the organization will run smoothly and effectively. Another major tenet of managerial leadership is formal authority. This usually lies in the hands of the school executives. However, the formal authority of the leader is the driving force behind his influence.
Although instructional and managerial leadership have a plethora of differences, there are still some similarities between the two. Both leadership styles encourage professional development and effective communication along the chain of command. Instructional and managerial leadership functions to support learning and teaching, the core of the educational enterprise. Both leadership styles highly value the input of those who are most powerful.
The first benefit one would expect to see in a school operating under the instructional leadership paradigm is an increase in the academic performance of the students. Heaven and Brown 2016 did conclude in their study on instructional leadership and academic performance that instructional leadership does have an influence on the academic performance of the students. The teachers in this same study also stated that they would benefit greatly from having a principal who employs the instructional leadership paradigm. They seem to be more motivated and inspired to push the school and the students to greater academic heights. They even stated that all principals should be instructional leaders when they were interviewed in the study. But then this leads me to the first challenge in the use of this paradigm. Persons, especially those in the ministry level, have this belief that a principal who uses the instructional leadership paradigm will be able to transform a school with the weakest students into a school which can compete with a school comprised of the high flyers. They tend not to think that there are many factors which affect the academic performance of students. Even though there was improvement in Heaven and Brown's 2016, they stated that the leadership paradigm was not the main factor affecting students' academic performance. When these schools did not reach the unrealistic goals of these policymakers and ministers, they criticized the principals for not causing the students to do better. This, of course, would be unfair to the principal, as they cannot be expected to make an entire school of weak to mediocre students into high-achieving students. They need help. Since the 1980s, the primary focus has been on the principal as the instruction leader of the school, but as Nirenberg and Ornstein 2008 pointed out, the principal alone cannot fulfill all the school's instructional management needs.
The managerial leadership has a business model foundation. There is a place for it in schools. Schools can benefit from this type of foundation as it creates gateways for school improvement. As with many business models, one of the aims is to provide a viable income which will ensure the proper running of the institution. All schools need funding. This funding can be used to provide effective learning resources and a proper learning environment. Secondly, managerial leadership is aimed at effective communication with all the stakeholders. When all stakeholders are aware of what is happening within the schools, they want to do more. So students become more enthusiastic about learning as they feel like a part of their learning process, and parents feel a sense of belonging. As a result, they will do more with the students and with the teachers. They will also volunteer more, offering skills that teachers may not have to offer. Managerial leadership has a hierarchical flow. This means that if there is a problem at the head, the problem will have a negative impact on the entire institution. So if the head of this institution, this hierarchy, is not carrying out his or her duties effectively, it can affect the entire institution, resulting in severe losses academically, culturally, and financially. This may result in high absenteeism and lower academic outcome and lower enthusiasm overall for teachers and students. Moreover, as a result of this structure of leadership, teachers may not feel involved or like a part of a team. And they tend to feel left out, like they have no say in how they can provide the best opportunities for themselves and for the students. And this can lead to resentment and a negative attitude towards work and the leaders of the institution.
According to research by Southworth 2002, there are 3 strategies which were found to be effective amongst principals in schools in improving teaching and learning. Those were modeling, monitoring and professional dialogue, and discussion. As is usually the case, principals were once teachers of many years who possess a wealth of information and experience which can be very beneficial to teachers under their instruction. In instructional leadership, this knowledge and experience is passed on as principals would visit the classrooms to ensure teachers are doing what is required of them, whilst also critiquing and giving very useful feedback. Teachers in return can utilize these experiences to review, reflect, and when necessary, revamp their instructional styles, techniques, or perhaps classroom management skills, which will go a long way in enhancing the teaching process. This also enhances the learning process, as the aim is to provide students with the best possible educational experiences and opportunities. Managerial leadership focuses on functions, tasks, and behaviors. In this system, the school's principal is the actual organization manager who did the strategies that have been decided to achieve educational goals. According to Jensen 2010, the level of performance is closely related to the workers' compensation system. Now, the workers have a desire to improve their performance and receive their compensation once they are attracted to it. And this also creates a positive work climate. Now, compensation also acts as a form of appreciation of the dedication of hard work done by the teachers on a daily basis. And once teachers feel appreciated and valued, this can result in them responding by continually performing at a high level, which more than ably facilitates the teaching process. The learning process is enhanced as well, as the students become the beneficiaries of this commitment being made by the teachers.